Good afternoon, welcome to this special question and answers video with myself, Mark Jonathan Reed, and just for you, I have managed to get hold of the writer off of his busy writing schedule, Mr. Jack Ford Lane, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know Jack, he was famous for Jack's Opinion in the weekly vlogs which I did last year before this great idea came along. Would you like to say a few words, Jack?
Well, thanks. Firstly, thanks for letting me be here today. That's
right,
really nice. It's really kind of you. Hi, how are you? You alright?
Okay.
You done?
Thank you, Jack. So just before we start, we're going to answer a few questions that we've been asked by our fans. But before we start, I'd like to say if there's any artists out there who think they're as good or better than me, please let me know, and we'd like to get you involved drawing up Jack's storylines, because I'll always be designing these characters, and I may not have enough time to get the stories out as quickly as we'd like them to. And we'd like to get them out for you as quickly as possible. So any more artists that can collaborate with us, please let us know. So right, let's get on with the first question. We have a question from Jamie Ham. I don't know if that's your name, Jamie Ham, but Jamie Ham emailed me asking, does it all have to be about me, or can I make a design about someone else? Now, the answer to that question is that we prefer it if your hero is based on yourself. If it is yourself as a hero, so the secret identity of your superhero idea is you. That's the general idea of it. So you come into our comic book as a character. However, if you're uncomfortable with yourself being a character, then you can make one up.
Yeah, definitely.
Is the idea.
As long as it's cool.
The preferred idea is that it's yourself. The more like real people your heroes are, the more likely we are to use them, and I presume you all are real people.
It's important for the character as well to have a unique sort of power, because there's no point just having super strength and
super speed.
Had that 3 times.
Yeah, 3 super speeds in 6 days. That's quite impressive.
So yeah, it's all about they can be super strength and they can fly, but it's an interesting way of going about doing it. How they get that, I'm not going to say obviously. So but yeah,
otherwise they'll use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so when it comes to doing the origins section, if you do have super strength, if you gain that super strength in a really interesting way, write it in your notes
use
of
it
origin.
You use it in a certain way, like your bones would be made out of crystal or something like that. That's just one I came up with just there.
Just there, right on the spot. You see that? That is like.
That's why I'm the writer, bitches.
He's the writer. Okay, that's why he was designed before you all were. Would you like to answer and read the next question?
The next question came in from Twitter, and it's from Actually MJR. Thanks, Actually MJR.
Yeah, whoever you are.
What is it about? The idea that we had was originally a combination of forces, where Mark came up with the idea for he was going to do one of Nova Force, and I already had a whole idea for a comic book where it's set on another world, and we sort of combined. So we've gone for a whole another world sort of feel to it. However, it's on Earth in England, set in England, and it's set in after sort of an apocalypse, Armageddon's kind of thing, but not so much that everything's destroyed and everything's screwed. It's just been that there's been a lot of destruction done, and not everything's quite as it was. Things are still running, but it's like that, and the world is a little bit torn apart by 5 different factions. We've got a lot of storyline, but we're just giving you the basis of it. So there's 5 different factions going, and they're kind of running the country, and they're all against each other, and it's not being done properly. And then the Cross, came up and is trying to kind of get it all back together. There's a whole thing behind that you have to watch the vlogs and read the comics for that. So yeah, the idea is that there was something that happened, and now everyone has a power in a way.
Some are stronger than others.
Yeah, some are stronger than others.
Which differentiates the superheroes, yourselves and ourselves, from the general public.
It kind of happens like through puberty. Was sort of you go through puberty and then you go through all that. So that was the idea for the superhero things. They kind of, it might show when they were younger, and then it grows when they're older, and then it'll all come out, and so it happens to some early and some a lot later. So that was the kind of the gist of that whole thing. So that is a thing because we've had a lot of origin stories, and we won't be able to use them all in such the way that we've got them through because of the way that this is set. So now you know this, you can sort of set it through. You can give it a big long origin story because we love that, but just bear it in mind that it's set in an apocalypse and everyone sort of has a power.
I mean, your origin story can still exist. I mean, the way it all comes about. I mean, you can everyone's powers probably from this. Well, it's from a drug, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are probably quite limited. But if your hero's got an origin story, that probably expanded their power, for example. Or if your hero gained the ability, for example, to read people's minds, he might have been able to read the odd thought. But when the whole drug crisis happened, and all the like through puberty and all that, then maybe that power was then blown up, so that he can read every single thought in the world. That kind of thing. So we can work together on this. Basically, is what we're saying. We can take your ideas and merge them into our ideas, which is good.
And we'll email you if you've sent us an email. We'll email you back and say, can we tweak a few things here or there?
Change things around.
Which we have done. So the next question, I believe that's for you.
Yeah. This is one from Twitter again, from Jack Ford Lane. Thanks for sending in your question,
Cheers,
Jack Ford Lane.
Cheers.
It says, where do the Nova Force live?
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
Well done, Jack.
The thing about where the Nova Force live is they all live at the beginning in different places, obviously, because they're all different people. They don't all grow up together. Not all of them, anyway. And but by the time the Nova Force have got together, have joined together, there's a character called Vapor, sent in by Marcus Atkins. I haven't designed him yet, but I'm thinking I may do that next week. Now, Vapor is the owner of a gentleman's club called Marcus's, original name. And underneath Marcus's there is a secret lair that he's had built. I don't know why.
It was when I was talking to him. It was the idea of a nuclear bunker when all this apocalypse started. It was built and underneath it, and that was kind of how it was there. And then it's turned into the lair that they live in.
So yeah, so now that's where the Nova Force live, in underneath Marcus's gentleman's club, in the secret lair, basically the Nova Lair. That's a good name for it.
Yeah, that's good. That's just there.
Yes, that was me right there on the spot. Right, so Jack, next question.
Oh, of course. Is this just so that you can be a superhero? That's from Actually MJR.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
totally.
That's the majority of it. We've always wanted to be a superhero, and this is the only way possible.
Well,
unless you do heroin and magic mushrooms, and then you just imagine that you are a superhero, but you're not really. It's just in your mind. But you can do that. There's nothing that we're going to do to stop you. The police might.
Yeah, that's true.
We won't tell you.
But if you want to be a superhero, come to us.
Yeah.
If you want to do it properly, come to us.
The only reason we're the main characters at the beginning is because we're the only ones who's kind of we're the start at it. So it's just to go with that. We haven't had so many to send them in, but after a while we'll probably.
The more creative and better your heroes are, the bigger and better characters they'll be.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind when creating.
The more it goes on as well, it will probably be the less we feature in it, and we'll bring other characters.
Oh yeah. And the older we get, the older our characters get, the more they may retire one day. You never know, and your children's characters will take over the Nova Force. You never know. We never know what's going to happen.
One question for you there.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah,
right. What if I have more than one character idea? And that's also from Twitter, from Jack Ford Lane.
Thanks, Jack.
Again, thanks, Jack. What if you have more than one character idea? Then send them in. I mean, we're not going to stop you. I mean, don't bombard us with character ideas, and we can't promise to do all your characters. I mean, we can only promise one. We will guarantee, for now, one character per person featuring in the comic, whether it's just a tiny part or a massive part, depending on how good your creation is. We can guarantee you a place in the story at some point. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to guarantee that? We're going to promise that right now?
For now,
depending on how massive this gets.
If this blows out of all proportions and gets big like we want it to do, we cannot guarantee that. But still send them in anyway.
But
please.
for now we can.
For now we can.
We can guarantee you will be a character and will have a part.
Unless your character's shit.
Yes.
In which you won't be in it.
This part.
Fucking
Sorry.
Lara.
But if you
she is
do
in
have...
it, to be fair. She is in it.
She is in it. If you do have more than one character, yeah, send them in. I mean, we can't guarantee your second character, but if they are really interesting, then yeah, we will. We'll stick them in. Thanks for your questions.
So guys.
Guys, and if you have any more, be sure to email either supermjr@live.co.uk or superjfl@live.co.uk.
Probably to him though, because that isn't set up yet. So
it will be.
It will be.
And we'll get back to you as soon as we can, and we'll do this video once a month answering all your questions. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next month.
You stay classy, San Diego.